Okay, and here we are, doing another OmegaBolt Plays Red Resurrection. This is from my perspective, and it's a 2v2 on the map Snow Revision, I think, and I'm playing as Yugoslavia here as the pink, and I'm allied with tyhednus as the rust-coloured UK player, I think, and the rust colour will come in will be very important later in the game, so remember his colour. He is rust coloured. But for now we're just building up our bases as usual. He's doing the normal thing of building a barracks first, and then to capture the barracks, the oil derrick even, and do some scouting, while I unconsciously decide to build an ore refinery first and go for those early gems. In the end, I don't know that it hugely matters, although on this map there is a couple of artillery bunkers that are right in the middle of the map, and it's a pretty kind of short distance between the two bases, so you want to kind of capture that, but didn't rush out for it for whatever reason. But I managed to get my derrick, no problem, kill those dogs, and oh, we're against AdmiralPit and Modder 666 as well, who are playing the Allies and the Soviets. I think Modder's playing Japan, and oh no, Pitt's playing Europe actually in this as well, so it's two enemy allies. And as you can see there, Pitt is opposite me, and he's managed to surround his artillery bunker, or what should actually be my artillery bunker, because it is closer to me than it's to him, but didn't get off to the best start, so he does manage to capture that. Although in a way it's a little costly, because you have to kind of, you know, it takes a bit of power to use, so you have to maybe build an additional power plant, and ooh, managed to take tyhednus's engineer out, who had ran to grab it, seeing my probably incompetence, but didn't get there in time and was taken out. So I'm planning my tactic to take it back, and because there are gems right in the base, I've decided to go for an early airfield as well, and go straight for the Sukhoi, which are really decent bombers. Once you've got 4 of them, you can destroy virtually anything, but obviously they're quite expensive, so you don't want to lose them. I'm just building up a little force here and a couple of war miners, which I'm actually going to use here to take back the bunker, because they are useful when there's not much defense. The armor makes them, you know, a little nicer to have than just conscripts. Now I'm got to hug the bunker there so that it can't shoot at me, but tyhednus is taking hits. And yeah, they're going to lose these terror drones pointlessly, but that's, oh, I don't know what happens to these guys. I think I maybe forget all about them, but maybe they'll do some good. tyhednus there is doing a good job of stopping Modder from preventing me from capturing it, and now we have the bunker. So balance is restored, or balance is brought into being for the first time in this game. I'm going to go out here, my first bunch of Sukhois, but there's only 3 of them. But 3's good enough for a few buildings, I think. I'm not exactly sure what, because of the bombing run kind of style, they're better against bigger buildings than smaller ones, so I'm not even sure if 3 can kill a power plant, but I kind of hope that they do. AdmiralPit's back with some Grenadier IFVs, which are pretty good against groups of infantry. I think I'm going to use this as an opportunity to scout his base, since we don't have any view at all. It's got a few IFVs, and yeah, I decided to go for the arsenal there, but as you're going to see, 3 Sukhois does not kill an arsenal, so bit of a waste. But then I don't actually lose any of the aircraft, so it's not really a loss. But makes him repair it at least. I think AdmiralPit has now just recaptured the bunker, so we've lost that, but I'm sure it'll be no big deal. I'm going to try and sneak a terror drone in, be annoying, but I'm not. Yeah, oh, I saw him running the engineer in there to the IFV, but I just didn't stop it for some reason. If I told it to attack the IFV with the engineer going in, then it would have been a little more successful. Finally got my 4th Sukhoi, so let's send these guys around the side, because there are these lovely cliffs here which are great for bombers to sneak through. And I did lose one there, but took out his war factory, so that's going to slow him down a bit. I've got to circle back around to avoid modders anti-air. Keep my economy in decent shape. And tyhednus is attacking the bunker. I'm not sure. I think he just destroys it, but I'm not. Yeah, I see. Well, that went pretty quickly, so not bad. And building some anti-aircraft just in case. There's a Solaris strike, but yeah, it gives you about 7 in-game seconds to avoid it, so if you're watchful you can definitely avoid that, but it is devastating when it hits. Modder managed to dodge it though. And there's a bunch of drugged up grenadiers here. Very scary actually, because they do a lot of damage, but the drugs have worn off before I did too much. Managed to get my base though. Some more Sukhoi attacks there. See, oh, AdmiralPit there has modders back with a bunch of IFVs. Obviously he had his eyes open for any bombing runs from me. Expanding out there with the outpost from the Soviets. Gives you a nice little sort of leapfrogging method of expansion. And I am going to try another Sukhoi attack. And I actually did that Solaris. This is how I kind of like using it, is to try and manipulate the enemy's movement. So I did that Solaris to try and draw Pitt's attention, so he'd move the units away from my bombers while they sneak in, and it worked. So I am going to be able to take out Modder's war factory and then sneak around the side again. I love these little cliff routes, they're very good for aircraft. Which is actually kind of something interesting in the map I didn't really think about before, you know, it's a pretty cool mapping technique, I guess, to give aircraft a particular kind of path of attack, something you don't see in many maps. And just building up me base. Going for T3 now with the tech center. And doing some. Well, I'm going to set up some little Scorcher nuisances.
Unit ready. Waiting orders. Order received.
And I always try and do like a sort of dual movement thing as well, you know, send an attack out and then move another attack forward so that the enemy maybe doesn't know what to go for, or get distracted or whatever. I'm not sure how well it works out this time, but these Scorchers are pretty cheap, and get his army away while my Sukhoi also again destroy his one of his refineries there. I'm not sure I even noticed me clicking on those guys, I guess I had them hotkeyed. But you see, you gotta do a little distraction and then swoop in. I've got my tech center down, looks like the Solaris is ready again, which is unique for Yugoslavia. There, place it down. Yeah, he activates the Chrono Freeze, which that little building there in the middle is actually a warp node, which is unique for Europe. And early game, it allows you to, if you activate the Chrono Freeze ability, it activates around all warp nodes and provides this armor buff, but also it slows down the units. So both friendly units and enemies surrounding the warp node. So actually, it's both can be used defensively to buff your own units, but also slow down the enemy's approach. He used it defensively there, so there's no point attacking because it has like 75% health buff or something ridiculous. But then later in the game, warp nodes do allow you to teleport buildings next to them as well, and they can be placed quite far from your base. So they have a kind of a cool dual use. And what am I going to do here? Bloody Grenadiers. Too fast for the Soviet infantry. But you know, when someone attacks, you've got to retaliate. And fuck me. remember what I said. Whose are those units? They are rust-coloured, and I fucking. Jesus Christ, that's so so tragic. Fuck me. Yeah. It was like my brain was like, huh, there's an enemy there, and it's kind of on their side, and part of my brain was like, but isn't Modder playing Japan? They don't get penguins and terahertz, but I fucking did it anyway, and and I killed tyhednus' army, my ally, just to give us, you know, I'm just giving the enemy a chance because they were getting wrecked. So I don't want to be, don't want it to be over too quickly. So yeah, I managed to screw over my ally because his colour is pretty similar to Modder's brown colour, which is an issue that comes up when you add, you know, lots of new multiplayer colours. It's hard to avoid similarities, but it was also me being me being very stupid. I am like a cowboy. These tytos here, these are the artillery for Yugoslavia. They're actually cloaked and move around with a laser that's very good against infantry, and then they can deploy and fire at the artillery, which is pretty good against infantry and good against buildings, of course. So they're pretty interesting units. You can try and sneak around. They have very low armor though, so if they get caught, they're pretty much dead. But you can, you know, sneak into an enemy base and do some damage, which you may or may not see later in this game. I love that voiceover. That's probably one of the best voiceovers from Red Alert 3 originally, the combat engineer. Need to spread out my economy a little bit. tyhednus being nice and aggressive here. He's got a pretty good army, lots of terahertz tanks, and I'm going to try and be a good ally and make up for my sins and repair some of his vehicles. And the Titos are moving out here. I'm going to try and do a little sneak attack while Modder is maybe distracted with tyhednus' kind of forward army. And tyhednus probably sees that actually and does go in as well, so some good coordination. Unspoken coordination there, and I do manage to look at that, take out the refinery. Although he does have another one. And that refinery is pretty useless, honestly, because it was in the middle of nowhere, but let's see if I manage to get the second one. But he's noticed, oh, AdmiralPit's actually noticed, he's sending all of his army, and look, see the Titos just die in seconds. I don't even get that refinery. And these are some sonic enforcers coming forward here from AdmiralPit. Those are the infantry there, and they fire these sonic cannons. That are very good against infantry and pretty good against vehicles, and they deal damage in a line, so anything in between, friend or foe, will be damaged, which, you know, I usually sometimes try and kind of position myself so that the Sonic enforcers have to fire through the enemy's own vehicles and infantry, because then they'll damage themselves, but not in this case. Ooh, some more Sukhoi here coming out. What am I gonna do? Oh, but his Rocketeers are coming. AdmiralPit always on the ball. What am I gonna do? Take out the refinery. And oh, I think this is the one where I do a little sweet maneuver and manage to save my aircraft, all of them. Oh yeah, I felt good about that one, honestly. Managed to stop the Sukhoi there, so you return to base and then pull the other ones out. So I didn't lose any of them. And some humming sounds. I think that's going to be Spanner, the UK heroine, repairing some stuff. Yeah. Oh, and that Solaris was definitely successful. These are called Perturbator IFVs, and they're the IFV mode for Sonic Enforcers, and they throw sound grenades. That was just Polarity Swap, which is a Yugoslavian ability, and it causes the enemy vehicles that you stick it on to deal inverse damage. So if the weapon would damage you, it will now heal you, and healing weapons will damage, so you know, it kind of allows you to sort of switch off your enemy vehicles for a little while. Although they can actually use it quite cleverly as well, because they can repair their own units if they shoot their own units with polarity swapped vehicles. So always try and, you know, stick in some kind of like dual, you know, use, or you know, try and make these support powers and things have a couple of, you know, different effects and things, so it's not just like one instant kind of blast. And here Modder is trying to target down my Sukhoi with his Black Eagles, but he didn't focus fire one of them, so he managed to well, he didn't take any of them out, so I still had the 4 necessary to take out the War Factory. And here we have the Sonic Enforcers coming forward here. They're not targeting, or they're targeting down at the hammer there, so they do get taken out pretty quickly. And boom, there's one of these sonic grenades. But I think Pit's a little distracted right now, because it looks like tyhednus has actually put down an arms jammer up in the north there. But I'm not focusing too much on what's going on there. I'm just trying to do what I gotta do. Do a Valiant Curtain there, and there's... Oh, I placed down the Solaris, but Pit spots it and manages to move out of the way. And it's one of those abilities that's very avoidable, but it's also very powerful when it works. So you can predict enemy movements with it, or hope that they're not looking, or you know, things like that to get it to be most effective. What am I even doing at this point? I'm building a war palace. Just teching up, trying to, I guess, solidify the victory, but it looks like tyhednus is doing absolutely awesome. He's pushing in. Modder 666 announces good game. I think he's about to tap out. Oh, there's a brute flying hero for Europe. One of the 2 heroes for Europe, because here's the other one, Wojtek, the bear, and he can deploy to enrage himself and buff his attack and speed. So he's pretty potent, but he is melee, so you can kill him with ranged units. And Brute there has this sort of like chrono net disabling kind of ability, which it disables targets that it hits, infantry or vehicles. It just traps them in time, so it allows other units to take them out. No problem. And there's a bishop landing on, or firing its projectile there.
Unit lost.
Overseer gets shot down there.
Unit lost.
No problem. There is a big missile turret in the middle there called the Annihilator turret, which is another support power for UK, which, like that mech there, the Decimator mech, has to be piloted by Spanner, and it's an anti-air turret.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Select.
So Spanner's quite a versatile infantry, like a lot of the UK stuff. It's kind of got versatility
Unit ready.
as one of the main sort of features.
Training.
Moving forward here with a Perrin, Yugoslavian big chopper, boosts the firepower of Tesla units and can also be used to do wireless transfers to teleport your units between Perrins, but you don't get to see that because I don't manage to do it. Just because you need 2 Perrins and an army to teleport, and I have neither of those. But it's pretty much over here. I'm just finishing off AdmiralPit, who's pretty much just got that prism tank, but it's not going to save him. They ain't that powerful. And tyhednus' land destroyer army is still floating around. Whoa, that Annihilator turret just slaughtered Brute there when he came out of the barracks. Oh, but Pitt does manage to get out a Vortex tank. You can see in the bottom right there with its Vortex. That can be very powerful because it charges up and the Vortex gets bigger and bigger and slows units down and does increasing amount of damage, but it's pretty weak in strength, so you can... There you go, there's when the Vortex is powerful. But Dr. Dobrillo, the Yugoslavian hero there, don't give no Fs. And I think he can just go up there and kill the Vortex tank. Oh, but I guess he's slower than the Vortex, so I'm just gonna keep killing buildings. Oh, and the Harriers from tyhednus are gonna actually take that out. So great job, and that's G.